You ever spend hours, hours learning something new? You're cramming for a test, or maybe prepping for a huge presentation, and then poof, the one thing you need to remember just vanishes from your brain. It is so frustrating, isn't it?
It's a feeling we all know, right? You put all this work in, but it's like your memory is a leaky bucket. Well, what if I told you the way most of us are taught to study is just fundamentally wrong?
So let's just call it what it is, the forgetting problem. But don't you worry, because in this explainer, we are going to unpack a really powerful and honestly, a pretty strange-looking solution that science says can fix it, for good.
Think about how we do it. We reread our notes, we highlight our textbooks until they're neon yellow, we watch the same lectures again and again. It's like we're treating our brain like a computer hard drive, just trying to save a file. But our brains don't work that way. This whole passive approach, that's exactly why everything disappears.
Now, the secret to fixing this comes from a place you would never expect. A super simple, almost bizarre language lesson. And at first glance, you're going to think it's for kids. But trust me on this, there is a powerful method hiding in plain sight here.
So, here it is. This is the core fact. The entire lesson we're about to look at is built around this one single sentence about a boy named Carlos. Seems straightforward enough, right?
Okay, but watch what happens next. The lesson doesn't just move on to the next fact. No, it immediately turns around and asks this incredibly simple question. And by making you answer yes, you're literally strengthening the little neural pathway your brain just made. It's a tiny confirmation, but it is a crucial first step. And it doesn't stop there.
Then, it asks you the opposite. Now this is interesting, because it forces your brain not just to remember the right info, but to actively push away the wrong info. By making you say no, you're basically drawing a bright, clear line in your mind, separating what's true from what's not. It seems so small, but this step is huge for building a really clear memory. And now the method shifts gears. It's not a simple yes or no anymore. Now you have a choice, which forces your brain to sift through the details and actually pinpoint the correct one.
And the answer, you'll notice, drills down on that specific detail. You're forced to actively pull the name Carlos out of your memory, not just confirm some vague idea. You have to go find the information yourself.
Okay, let's just pause for a second. I know what you're thinking. This is ridiculous. This feels like a children's exercise. And you know what? You're not wrong. It seems almost absurdly basic.
But here's the moment where it all clicks. That simplicity, that isn't a flaw in the system, it's the entire point. That repetitive, slightly weird questioning, that's the secret.
So let's pull back the curtain and actually break down what's going on here. Because this isn't just random repetition. It is a finely tuned, systematic process for locking information into your brain. So here it is, the four-step pattern we just saw. First, you get one single, digestible fact. Second, a simple yes-no question to confirm it. Third, a choice question that makes you pick between details. And finally, an open-ended question like who or why that makes you pull the specific info out of thin air.
So why on earth does this strange little method work so well? Well, because whether it was by accident or design, this lesson is a perfect example of a really powerful idea from cognitive science. It's called active recall, and that word active is everything. Every single question forces your brain to stop being a passive spectator and start actively working to pull information out. And every time you do that, it's like lifting a weight for your brain. The memory gets stronger.
And this shows the difference perfectly. On the one side, you have passive review, rereading, highlighting. It feels like you're being productive, right? But it often just creates an illusion that you know the material. On the other side, active recall, forcing yourself to answer a question without looking. It's harder, yeah, but it's what actually builds strong, lasting memories.
So the real takeaway here is that this isn't just some fascinating little story. It's a practical, super powerful learning tool that you can start using, well, right now. Here's the playbook. Take any piece of information you need to learn. Pull out the core fact. Then, you become your own teacher. Write down a few simple questions that follow the pattern: a yes, no, a choice, a who, a why. Then, and this is the important part, put your notes away and try to answer them. It's simple, it's fast, and it is incredibly effective.
And this method is totally universal. Trying to learn history dates, scientific formulas, key business metrics for your job, the subject does not matter. The process of forcing your brain to retrieve information works for absolutely everything.
This idea transforms learning from a passive act of just consuming information into an active, engaging game of retrieval. So, I'll leave you with this question. What's that one thing you've always struggled to make stick? What could you finally master if you just stopped rereading and started questioning?